Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. As always, Scott Carson here to enjoy being with you today. Today's a hump day here in Austin, Texas, and it's a little crazy here. Well, not so much crazy here, but it's always funny seeing how the news agencies paint something. We've got this package bomber going around the south side of Austin and dropping off stuff and terrorizing more so the FedExes of the world here. So, never a dull moment in Austin, Texas. I'll put it at that. But anyway, today's topic is about heroes and Hookie, okay? Or Hookie and heroes. It depends on which way you want to put it. I would love to know, for those that are watching us live on Facebook Live and those that are listening to us, I would love to hear about your most interesting Hookie story. Now, I'm not talking about going out and smoking in a Hookie pipe. I'm talking about literally playing hooky from work as an adult, not as a kid. I mean, look, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, one of my favorite movies of all time. All right. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what things have you done as an adult when you had a job and you played hooky for a variety of reasons. Some of you is going like to start a Major League Baseball season. I can totally understand that. It's a great thing. Okay. I'm talking about things that you were working at a paid job or a salary, something like that, and you really called in sick. I'm not talking about March Madness, okay? I'm talking about something you did when you really couldn't afford to do it, and you went and did it anyway. And I'll tell you my biggest Hookie story, my biggest Ferris Bueller Days Off story. For a short period of time, I think 60 days, 90 days, I don't remember, it was long ago, I worked for Palm Harbor Homes. If you don't know who Palm Harbor is, they're a big modular and mobile home company. I was working for their modular department, but I still sold their mobile homes next door. Talk about an interesting, you learn a lot about mobile homes and things like that when you go through their training program and you start selling mobile homes. Get some interesting riffraff on some things. But anyway, I was working for them short period of time. I was on salary. I was doing what I could to help market and do some other things. I wasn't really enjoying the job that much. And one day, if you've ever been to a big event or been in a bigger city or been a part of an organization, oftentimes you'll see these event marketing things, okay? Where they have a big sales guy or like Grant Cardone or some of these info seminar companies will come through and they'll send out a sales guy to introduce you to things, and they had a guy show up at our offices and they pulled in, about 20 people from 3 or 4 of the nearby Palm Harbor offices. And this guy gave a presentation on Tom Hopkins, how to master the art of sales, and then Ron Marks, who's the time management guy. And they were coming to Austin in a week or two. And they were coming in to spend a full day going through that stuff. And they gave the presentation and stuff like that. And they offered up tickets and stuff like that to the event. And they weren't going to give us the day off for that stuff. And this is, I guess we're about 2 weeks out. Well, for you guys that don't know, I absolutely love Tom Hopkins. Tom Hopkins is one of my idols. Read a lot of his books, How to Master the Art of Sales. And if you ever read his or understood or heard his story, it's a pretty interesting story about how he got started in real estate sales. At this point, he got so good at selling real estate that he was basically averaging one closed transaction per day. And he had some just interesting stories to get started off. And one of the stories that comes to my attention is when he was out of high school, he was showing up to his first listing appointment. He rode his bike to. He didn't have a jacket, so he wore his his band jacket from high school that had all these sequins on it. Showed up to show this lady this house, and it was just a debacle. And that didn't stop him from having success, okay? Yes, for those out there, I love our comedians that are watching here. We just had Landon Rothstein just shared hooker story. Sorry, wrong forum. Yeah, good job, Landon. We know what you do in your spare time or when you're traveling to other islands, okay? J. Thomas Martin says on here, has an interesting hooky story. Called in to get drunk to buy first iPhone released with a friend to resell on eBay. LOL. That's pretty good. If you bought a couple, then turn around and resold them. Nice. Made it a profitable drunken experience. Okay. Cedric Wilson, thanks, bud. We're all careful here, bud. I don't think there'll be the bomber was showing up here. Phyllis said, "Oh, this is a good one." Phyllis Bowman says, "Drove 500 miles to go to a port wine tasting event. This is a wine tasting where there were 16 glasses of wine in front of each person." Nice. I love port. That's got to be a fun thing, Phyllis. That's definitely. Hopefully, we're able to have a ride back on the 500 miles back. That's awesome. Good stories, guys. Good stuff. But so 2 weeks rolls by, and here comes this event. And I've been sitting here like, oh, I really want to do this. I really want to do this event, but they're not going to give us the time off. They were, management was hoping they come in and we get some nuggets on time management from these guys, and it'd help us in our job. They're cheap. I think tickets were like $97 or $197. I kept the guy's card. And so the day before, I called the guy. I'm talking to my wife at the time, and I decided I'm going to go to it. And I'm going to call in sick and play hooky. Okay. I remember money was a little tight. Money was a little tight, $97. So I called the guy that had come in through and said, "Hey, listen, I'm coming, but I'm playing hooky. They wouldn't give me the day off. Can I pay at the door?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, no problem." Hey, he goes, "Actually, don't worry about it. We're sold out, but I'll give you a free ticket inside. You can come on. I'll have a name and we'll call it." Oh, my God, it was great. So here I am. I'm driving my Ford Mustang 5.0, middle of the summer. It's hot. I'm wearing a shirt, tie, khakis, looking kind of sharp. And I'm the proverbial, "I'm sorry, I'm sick, I can't come in." You call in. So I drive down there, and it's here at the Hilton downtown, big event. There's main conference room, probably 2,000 people in there, and there are a ton of real estate people, realtors and mortgage brokers, and all sorts of people. And I stand in the audience, and the first half of the day was this Ron Marks guy who talked about time management stuff. And that was good. I got some good nuggets from that. The second half of the day was Tom Hopkins speaking. That's who I really wanted to hear speak. So from 1 to 5, Tom speaks, and I'm just writing copious amount of notes. I'm loving it. I'm like, oh, this is great. I can take this back. And I did the entrepreneurial bug beforehand, and I was just working here at Palm Harbor just to get a paycheck in to cover some bills, like many people have done. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And I've always had the entrepreneurial bug. I didn't want to get back into finances, but I didn't really want to be at Palm Harbor. I didn't know what I wanted to do exactly. And so I get in my car to go back at the end of the day. And it's just backed up. If you've ever been to Austin traffic on a Friday, downtown Austin, it is a cluster. Okay, it was bumper to bumper. I was like, I'm not leaving the underground parking garage for a couple hours. I said, I might as well go back upstairs and grab a beer. So that's exactly what I did. Park my car, go back upstairs to the bar here at the Hilton, and I'm sitting there, and it's just packed. Bar's packed, and all the tables are packed. I'm kind of hanging out like 2 other people over the side there with a beer. And they're listening, they're talking. I'm just kind of standing by myself. And suddenly, I see Tom Hopkins roll right in through without a posse, without a ton of people, without his wife or anybody with him. Tom's really by himself. And it's like nobody knows who the hell he is. I'm like, all you people just heard this guy speak for 4 hours. You're not saying anything to him. So I'm standing there. I'm literally standing there like trained. I'm like, oh, my God. And suddenly, he walks to the bar, and 2 people from the bar pay their tab. They get up and walk away. And Tom sits down in one of those chairs. I'm sitting there, man, somebody should buy the guy a glass of wine or a beer or something. Somebody should go up there and buy him a glass of wine. Not having the confidence initially to say, oh, that person should be me. And so I'm sitting there, literally, for like 10 minutes. I'm not joking. I'm sitting there watching Tom from like 50 feet away saying, somebody should go up there and do it. Somebody should go up there and do it. Somebody's going to beat me to the punch. Finding every excuse I could say in my head not to take action. Oh, he's going to think I'm stupid. Here's this guy's success, and I'm way down here. And, oh, yeah, he has nothing to do. I'm gonna bobble it. I can barely pay my bills. That kind of stuff. All that negative self-talk I could think of was running through my ears. Finally, I get the huevos. I get the balls to finally walk up to Tom. I'm going to go do this. After 10 minutes, waiting for somebody else to find success and trying to wait for others to go do it before me, I decided I'm going to go do it. So I walk up to Tom, and I tap him on the shoulder. I go, "Hi, Mr. Hopkins. My name is Scott Carson. I was just through your seminar. I'm a big fan. Read all your books. Would you mind if I bought you a glass of wine or a drink?" He's like, "Oh, that would be great." I'm just finishing my first one. And he goes, "Hang on a second. Let me see if we can't find a quieter spot where we can go sit alone." I'm like, "What? You want to actually talk to me?" And I'm getting hair standing on the back of my head right now, neck right now. And so, sure enough, he walks over around the corner, and there's a couple chairs there, and people are getting up to walk away. He's like, "Oh, hey, Scott, come on over here. We'll sit down here." So I get from the line, and I'm a little stressed a little bit because have you ever done that? You pay for something, you're like, "Oh crap, I don't know if my card's going to go through." I don't laugh about it now, but when you're there, you're scared to death. I'm like, that's okay. So I get him a glass of the House Merlot, which is what he wanted. I don't know why he didn't want something fancy, but anyway. So I walk over and we sit down, and I get to spend almost an hour, 45 roughly minutes with Tom Hopkins one-on-one. And he's asking me questions about who I am and what I'm doing and where am I wanting to go. And I'm talking about how I'm not happy with where I'm at and what I ultimately wanted to be. And then another guy comes over and sits down. Some guy was just listening in who came and sat down. We had to talk to him too. But for that 45 minutes, I had lightning in a bottle poured into me. And Tom shared some amazing things. He's like, man, he goes, I get where you're at. He goes, you've got dreams, you don't know where you want to go, and you've got to take a job to get where you want to be. Do not give up on your dreams. You may have to take a back seat for a little while to do the things you need to do, but don't give up on your dreams. And, he has to get up after about an hour. Said, hey, Scott, I've really enjoyed visiting with you. Best of luck to you. We'll see you around, but I've got to get back I've got a dinner reservation, my wife and the crew. And I'm like, no problem. Thank you. And I remember walking out of there. I don't think my feet touched the ground when I go home. I get home and I'm like, you don't think I'm loud already. Imagine me all fired up and not intoxicated, but fired up on something like this. I was so loud and so excited. I was like, I didn't know what I want to do. And I had a hard time going back to work. Let's just say that next day on Saturday, I had to go back into work. And suddenly, of course, I felt better, obviously. What was funny is that one of the bosses had actually been at that event, had actually seen me there. They didn't fire me. He mentioned it about 2 weeks later. He goes, I can understand why you went in, and that's awesome. He goes, I would probably done the same thing, which is really, really cool, right? But when I gave my notice that 2 weeks later, when I figured out this was not going to be what I wanted to do long term, this is not where I wanted to go, it was taking me away from my focus. And so I just spent that next 2 weeks finding something else that I could go to, someplace else I could work at that would allow me to be a step closer, a ladder higher on that rung to where I ultimately wanted to be able to make enough money to do what I wanted to do. And so the reason, why am I telling this? Why am I telling this story to the No Closers show out here, guys? Is that really the most successful people are the most willing in giving their time a lot of times, I've found. The people that are most successful always want to give back. They may not always be able to do it based on their time and schedule, but they're often willing to do something for you. They're often willing to help you out. But the biggest thing you have to do is, I didn't come to Tom Hopkins trying to save. I said, hey, I enjoyed your 4-hour thing. Can I buy you a glass of wine? Can I buy you a drink? And he was glad for that, sure, because nobody else was coming up to him. And I met Tom again a few years later on different circumstances at a stage, and I came up to him again and said, you may not remember. He goes, actually, I do remember you. I was most impressed that nobody else came up to me and you came up to me and said something to me. And I was always glad. I'm glad to see you're doing different. You're doing well now. And that's the thing I want to tell you guys out there. For those of you that are struggling, or your things that are getting rock and rolling and it's dragging on and you're not having as much success, there's two things that can be happening. One is you're waiting for success. You could be like me, sitting there waiting 10 minutes to get around, or finding every other excuse of why you won't find success and why you're delaying your own happiness. I mean, you could do it. Oh, I'm not good enough. I hate my sound of my voice, or I don't know what I'm going to say, or I don't know what I'm going to say to investors, or I don't know what I'm going to talk about. You have to realize, guys and gals, that's normal. Everybody goes through that. That's why you network. That's why you are part of hopefully the WCN crew. That's why you go to workshops. That's why you network. That's why we do so much stuff with our videos and our blogs and things like that to help you guys succeed. And I love seeing these stories here and hearing from you guys of what you did to go do something that was obviously important to you. Whether it was the wine tasting, 16 glasses of port will do that for you. Landon Rothstein, the hookers. Just joking with you. J. Thomas Martin talking about making money by playing hooky. I get it. What happens oftentimes, though, is that our pain is not more, our pain isn't more damaging than what our dreams are. Okay. Our pain of getting outside our comfort level often holds us back from doing something. Our pain or our self-doubt keeps us from being able to advance our own dreams because we believe that we're going to get shot or killed or fail. And we all know that never, ever, ever happens. The worst mindset you can have never, ever really happens. Okay. And you are going to suck. I remember the sister talking to Tom, I was basically stuttering, and he just put his hand on my shoulder and said, hey, just relax, it's good. Let's visit. And it flowed from there. And so my message for all of you that are listening, and I want to first of all thank all of you for all the kind words, all the kind emails that have gone out. I mean, I've gotten a lot of great emails the last few weeks. I have to thank a few people out there. Thank you so much for your messages. Thank you so much for sharing. Just for you guys that don't know, Princess is doing better. I got a very nice email from Rudy Willis. So Rudy, thank you so much for your email. My hearts go out to you as well, guys, and you're Dallas. But one of the things I want to share with you guys is that, look, if you guys don't take action, if you're not going to get outside your comfort level, you're only hurting yourselves. Our comfort levels in the industry are a variety of things. Maybe it's making offers because we're scared we don't have the money, or maybe it's maybe it's the fact that you're afraid to write an email because you don't believe that there's anybody in your database that would say yes to you. Or when you go to the meetup groups, you're afraid to go up and talk to people because you're brand new. One thing, and one thing you all have to realize, we all start at the same spot. We all are brand new at something to begin with. Every one of us, whether it's riding our bike or dancing or going in for our first kiss or driving our first car or taking our first job interview, working the job for the first time or making our first offer on houses, sending out letters, whatever it is, we all have to start somewhere. I will tell you this. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll find success. Pretty freaking obvious quote. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll find success. And the only way to get better at what you do is to get in the game and start doing things. The only way to do that is focus on it. Focus on it. If you've got to play hooky every once in a while. You never know what will happen with your passion, and maybe it'll light a fire in it. Maybe it'll rekindle the flame inside when you've had to take a step back or you've got to take a job. And I know we got plenty of people out in Note Nation that are working full time or working part-time jobs, and they're using notes to supplement their income. They're working to get that full time. I get it. It's great. That's awesome. Keep doing it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to go quit your job. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is make sure you maximize your time as best you can. Make sure you're doing smart things, all right? Not dumb things with your time so that you can maximize your energy. And look, we all drift. We're all going to drift. You've heard me talk about drift before, and, Napoleon Hill and Sharon Lecter's book, Outwitting the Devil. We're all going to drift. The biggest thing you can do is steer back to the left, steer back to the right a little bit. Get back to that center focused, that point. And if sometimes you need to pick up the phone and call somebody, pick up the phone and call somebody. Look, if you are struggling, and I'm going to put this out there, if you are struggling, feel free to shoot me a text message. And my number is 512-585-3810. It's 512-585-3810. Shoot me a text message. I may not answer immediately, but I promise you I will answer to you. I promise I'll reach out to you. I promise that, hey, I'll jump on the phone and spend 10, 15 minutes with you as best I can going through some things. I want you to succeed. I want people to do things. I'm so proud of some of the people that we've heard recently. Neil Clausen, who just went through our fast track training, has closed on 5 deals since he was here, which is congratulations to you, Neil. Neil's a firefighter up out of Portland, doing some great stuff. Cody Cox doing some amazing stuff. Got just asked to speak to his local real estate club, which is awesome. Okay. Laura has a good quote here. Let's see what she's got to say here. Rekindle, exactly. When you put in a bid or get a counter, the adrenaline maxes out and your motivation revs up. Exactly. Congratulations to you, Laura. You put in like 23 bids. You got either accepts or counters back on all of them in roughly 48 hours, which is phenomenal. You're well on your path to really hitting some of your goals. it's just a matter of working through those counters now and going from there and reaching out to your investors. So hopefully you've got an email going out to your investment or your database here roughly as soon as possible. Okay. But guys and gals, today's is all about playing hooky. If you've had to, what have I played hooky at other times? I'm trying to think. I played hooky going to games before when I was in in jobs. I played hooky for an interview before. I've done that before a couple times. Laura says she sent an email out today. That's awesome. All right. One of the things that we have going on right now, too, guys, I want to share this with you, is we've developed. We had a lot of people coming, hey, Scott, do you have a membership besides your workshops? And we do. We actually started this about a month ago, actually the first 3 weeks ago. It's called the WCN Crew. And I was actually challenged by one of my mentors and a really good friend of mine at Traffic and Conversion that I've been talking about doing this for 6 months and never gotten around to it. So we launched it on the 1st of March. We're doing our beta, basically membership drive. The first 100 people that get signed up for our WCN Crew membership will get our monthly bonuses and monthly things at $97 a month to infinity, as long as they're in good standing. After we hit our 100 mark, the price goes up to $147. Once we get through Note Camp 5.0, the week after Note Camp, we'll close it down for new members for a while. What are we doing with the WCN Crew? Well, we got some great stuff. We are sending out monthly swag. We've got a little bit different monthly training. We got our first training actually tonight for the WCN Crew members on some really cool stuff. It's been very overwhelming from our vendors and some of our cohorts in crime who are coming together to give us discounts to our member crew, discounts on O&Es, discounts on your boarding, discounts on if you're buying, you're doing something with Laughlin Associates or the Court Bill Protection, they'll throw in an LLC for you. We got, what else we got? Monthly books are coming out, other monthly swag, discounts to events like Paper Source and the virtual note buying. We're also working on a discount for a few other larger events out there. So pretty stoked about it. We are actually coming up on our 100 members. We're pretty close to it. It's like I said, it's $97 a month. You can cancel at any time. I see a lot of people that have gotten the first signups have gotten their swag already sent to them with a T-shirt and a couple books and some things like that. We're excited to do that every month. Send something out. It's kind of our book of the month kind of club thing without reviewing the book every month. Stuff that I read. These books are going to be either people in the note game or something I pick, maybe a Gary Vaynerchuk book next month. Who knows? Or we do have a couple ideas for books for next month that are in the process of being shipped here for that. But guys, it's really a cool thing. We're doing special training, like I said, special discounts for that group. If I can't make you or save you $97 a month with a membership, I'm doing something wrong. I will tell you that right now. So one of the great things, guys, if you want to get signed up for it, drop me a message. We'll send you the link for it. It's a bit.ly link. So it's bit.ly, /WCN membership. WCN membership. And that means WCN is all capitalized and the M in membership is capitalized. Everything else is lowercase. But like I said, just drop me an email. Glad to send you a link for that. We've only just sent out a couple emails just recently as we're helping people get signed up for it. And then you get, the beautiful thing is that the WCN membership crew will have only the access to these videos. They're also the only ones who only have access to the replays. Besides our mastermind group as well for our Note Night in Americas, along with our virtual note buying workshop replays as well too. So besides that, go through. WCN members can also reattend the virtual at no cost. We've changed that now, where not everybody can reattend nonstop at no cost. So, but excited about that. We're coming up on our 100 members. Since we hit 100 members, the price goes to $147. You want to definitely, you want to save yourself $600 a year. Get signed up at the $97 price, and it's good to infinity and beyond, as long as you stay in good standing with us. So, what does that mean? It means you can't, if your credit card gets declined or expired, let us know you got another one. If we call you, say, hey, it's not working, you don't respond for a month or two, hey, that's not in good standing. So, we don't want you to miss out on the bonuses and some of the fun things that we're doing with that. we're pretty stoked about it. A lot of people are really enjoying it already. Give a big shout out to those that are sharing it on their social. Phyllis and Gail and Eric and Laura. We really appreciate you guys sharing the posts of the stuff that's coming in, that's getting shipped to you. So there's all be some monthly newsletters that go out as well with the updates and member spotlights and things like that too. So if you're interested, like I said, drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com or shoot me a text message once again, and we'll get rock and roll. So otherwise that, guys, I don't have anything else for you today. Go out and make something happen. If you got to play hooky well. Make it worth your while. We'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.